Hey, so we've been learning about Hobbes and Locke, and hopefully you have read a little bit about the difference between the two. They are kind of interesting of how they both see the world like completely different, but to maybe help you practice a little bit, what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through 20 statements. And so if you have some notes or something, just number 1 through 20, and just put an H if you think Hobbes said this, and an L next to it if you think Locke would have written it, and then we'll give you the answers. So let's get to these questions here. Here we go. So here we go. Who would say this, Hobbes or Locke? And so we'll just take you through these 20 statements, put an H or an L next to the number, and we'll see how well you did. Now, if you didn't do so well at the end, then maybe you should go back and maybe try to figure it out. But if you did well, then you got it. You can keep moving forward and do the Illuminate quiz. All right, number 1. Man is not by nature a social animal. Society could not exist except by the power of the state. Hobbes or Locke? Man is not by nature a social animal. Number 2, it's a big one. Our knowledge of objective true answers on such questions is so feeble, so slight and imperfect as to be mostly worthless in resolving practical disputes. In a state of nature, people cannot know what is theirs and what is someone else's. Property exists solely by the will of the state. Thus, in a state of nature, men are condemned to endless violent conflict. In practice, morality is for the most part merely a command by some person or group or God, and law merely the momentary will of the ruler. Who would have said that? Hobbes or Locke? Number 3, simple one. Man is by nature a social animal. Man is by nature a social animal. Number 4, men cannot know good and evil, and in consequence can only live in peace together by subjection to the absolute power of a common master, and therefore there can be no peace between kings. Peace between states is merely war by other means. Hobbes or Locke? Number 5, in a state of nature, men mostly keep their promises, honor their obligations, and though insecure, the world is mostly peaceful, good, and pleasant. The world is mostly peaceful, good, and pleasant. Hobbes or Locke? Humans know what is right. This is number 6. Humans know what is right and wrong and are capable of knowing what is lawful and unlawful well enough to resolve conflicts. Humans know what is right and wrong. Who would have said that? Hobbes or Locke? Number 7, they, people, are capable of telling what is theirs and what belongs to someone else. It sounds like kindergarten. Who would have said this? Hobbes or Locke? They are capable of telling what is theirs and what belongs to someone else. Number 8, another long one. If one man calls something good while another man calls something evil, the deed or man referred to still has real qualities of good or evil. The categories exist in the world regardless of the names for them. If one man's word does not correspond to another man's word, this is a problem of communication, not fundamental arbitrariness in reality. This is a difficult one. Hobbes or Locke? If one man's word does not correspond to another man's word, this is a problem of communication, not fundamental arbitrariness in reality. Number 9, peace is the norm and should be the norm. Hobbes or Locke? 10, people have no right to rebel. People have no right to rebel. Hobbes or Locke? Number 11, we can live together in peace by refraining from molesting each other's property and persons. And for the most part, we do. Hobbes or Locke? Number 12, we retain the right to life and liberty and gain the right to just impartial protection of our property. Again, we retain the right to life and liberty and gain the right to just impartial protection of our property. Hobbes or Locke? 13, the king can do no wrong because lawful or unlawful, good and evil are merely commands, merely the will of the ruler. Hobbes or Locke? 14, we retain the right to life and liberty and gain the right to just impartial protection of our property. I think we've done this one already. Hobbes or Locke? You better not get them wrong twice. 15, if a ruler seeks absolute power, he puts himself in a state of war with his subjects, and we have the right and the duty to kill such rulers and their servants. Hobbes or Locke? If a ruler seeks absolute power, he puts himself in a state of war with his subjects, and we have the right and the duty to kill such rulers and their servants. Number 16, civil society is the application of force by the state to uphold contracts and so forth. Civil society is the application of force by the state and to uphold contracts and so forth. Hobbes or Locke? 17, society creates order and grants the state legitimacy. Again, society creates order and grants the state legitimacy. Hobbes or Locke? 18, men have rights by their nature. Men have rights by their nature. 19, the only important role of the state is to ensure that justice is seen to be done. Hobbes or Locke? The only important role of the state is to ensure that justice is seen to be done. And 20, what most modern people would call civil society is jostling, pointless conflict in pursuit of selfish ends that a good government should suppress. Hobbes or Locke would say this. What most modern people would call civil society is jostling, pointless conflict in pursuit of selfish ends that a good government should suppress. Okay, look at your answers, 1 through 20, and we'll see how we do. Number 1 was Hobbes, right? He's all about that people are selfish if left alone. Number 2 is Hobbes as well, saying that law and morality is really just whatever the ruler thinks. 3, man is by nature a social animal. That's Locke. 4, men can't know good and evil. They need someone else to tell them. That's Hobbes. 5, in a state of nature, men keep their promises and honor their obligations. And the world is peaceful, good, and pleasant. That's Locke. 6, humans know what is right and wrong and are capable of knowing what is lawful. That's Locke as well. People can take care of themselves. Number 7, people are capable of telling what is theirs and what belongs to someone else. That's Locke as well. Number 8, this is a difficult one. If one calls something good while another man calls something evil, really, Locke says that that's just a miscommunication, that once we sit down and talk about it, then we'll all see the truth in the matter. That's John Locke. 9, peace is the norm. That's John Locke. Number 10, people have no right to rebel. That's Hobbes, right? He says the leader's always right. Number 11, we can live together in peace by refraining from molesting each other's property and persons. That's John Locke. 12, we retain the right to life and liberty. John Locke. We're going to add happiness in the Declaration of Independence, but he kind of gets us started down that direction. 13, the king can do no wrong. That's Hobbes. 14, we retain the right to life. Oh, we did that one already. That's John Locke. 15, if a ruler seeks absolute power, he puts himself in a state of war with his own people, and we should kill them. That's John Locke. 16, civil society is the application of force by the state to uphold contracts. That's Hobbes, using of force to keep people in line. 17, the society creates order and grants the state legitimacy, not the other way around. That's John Locke. 18, men have rights by their nature. John Locke. We call those natural rights. Number 19, the only important role of the state is to ensure that justice is seen to be done. That's John Locke. And finally, 20, what most people call civil society is jostling in the pursuit of selfish ends. So there you go. Hopefully you got most of them right. If you did, go ahead and move on to the Illuminate quiz. If things are still a little bit confusing, then go ahead and maybe reread some of the things. And then maybe take that quiz again, this quiz again, and see how you do. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.